My antisocial butterflies! Hi cuties! Welcome to the 10th episode of the Antisocial Socialite. 10 whole ass episodes, that's right. You didn't think that I was going to make this a consistent weekly thing, did you? I've been on your minds and on your screens for the last 10 weeks, but I'm gonna tell y'all bitches, we're just getting started. So get used to this face. And this set that is like the size of Mount Everest. So I had to jazz it up a little bit with the colors today to detract and distract from this, right? I should have just worn my mask, even though I'm home alone right now. This week's episode, we're talking a lot about family, so I want to dedicate this special 10th episode to my best. That's right, best. That's Mariah Carey mixed with puberty, okay? But my best friend Laura, she is like family to me. My family sees her as one of their own, and you know, she is always super supportive of me, gives me her all, you know, in terms of support, generosity, caring, concern, everything. And she actually spoils me rotten. She just got me these earrings, so thank you so much. Love you. So I just want to actually just dedicate this episode to her. I know she's watching, so love you. All right, talking a lot about family, I actually have my cousin as not my host. I'm the fucking host, right? No, as my guest. For today's episode, I have Kenny all the way from Las Vegas joining us via Zoom, of course, because I totally wish I was in Vegas right now. But also, I want to talk a little bit about how we see Hollywood. These names that always become household names after decades of knowing them, we kind of feel like they're family. So it's really sad and tragic to see that Naya Rivera has passed away. We just found out that her body was found in Lake Piru. Kelly Preston just passed away from battling breast cancer. Nelson Mandela's daughter just passed away. Lisa Marie Presley, aka Elvis Presley's daughter, her son just passed away at the age of 27. We've just heard some really, really sad news in the past week. So how's family important to you guys? That's what I want to know. So tell me what you look for in terms of your expectations for family members, non-family members that you feel like are family to you. You know, tell me what you think, because I feel like you guys are my family, my little antisocial butterflies, and we're just going to keep spreading our wings from here. This is 10 episodes in, but we have so much more to go. I don't really have any like funny, crazy stuff today. I just feel like, you know, this is going to be a quick episode, but just want to let you guys know how much I love you and thank you for your support. Thank you for watching me, liking me, subscribing to me, all that fun stuff. I really appreciate you all. So I'm gonna hit you with a very quick commercial break. Enjoy it, and we'll be right back. Hopefully you just enjoyed that nature-filled commercial break brought to you by me and my utter randomness. That's actually the walkway coming into my house, and those leaves drive me fucking crazy. This is the 10th summer I've been in this house that they overflow on the sidewalk and you can't really walk through, and it's super annoying but beautiful, right? We're gonna step a little bit away from the tragic news that I just spoke about, and we're gonna get on to some juicy news. Tory Lanez was just arrested. Tory, I'm so disappointed in you, because you know what happened? He actually just got arrested for having a concealed weapon in his car when he was actually with Megan Thee Stallion, and Megan's being considered a victim in this situation with a foot injury. Tory, we need answers. I'm so disappointed in you. And if you really are 5'3", that means that you're only an inch taller than me. I'm gonna step up to you, man. I'm gonna be more of a man than you are. If this shit's true, and you're just pow at people, that's not cool. Well, I know you didn't do that to Megan, but still, she got injured. Pop Smoke, we actually just spoke about him a couple episodes ago. 20-year-old rapper that was shot and killed back in February in what is considered maybe a home invasion, a targeted murder because he posted his address that he was staying at on social media, but they just arrested 5 individuals, actually a couple of which were minors in his case. So this is a huge breakthrough, but only 4 of them are being charged. So we want to know, who's that rat? Na 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 na. Who's that rat? Thank you, Eve. I'm sorry, I don't sing as well as you do. But speaking of rats, Ghislaine Maxwell, is she starting to rat already? This past week, it has been blown up on the internet of the Wayfair scandal, where they are selling like $12,000, $13,000 utility fucking cabinets, right? All with the same janky ass picture that doesn't even show that it's worth more than maybe like $600 from like WB Mason or shit, right? And get this, they all have the names of children who have been kidnapped. And interestingly enough, it's all been through Ohio from what I saw, because I saw this like conspiracy theory thing. Do you guys think that's real? I'm so curious, but there's also pictures of one of the C-suite people at Wayfair with Ghislaine Maxwell. So what's the deal? Do you think that they're actually sex trafficking minors on their website? That kind of sucks. Should I return my vanity that I just bought like a month ago because it's from Wayfair, even though it's like already built? But like, do we support them? I don't know, because cancel culture is so real, but I gotta cancel people that are trafficking children or anybody. Fuck y'all if you do that. And we're also gonna talk about 2020 being such an interesting year, right? Like Corona and deaths and this happened, that happened, whatever. It's been crazy. Finally, the Washington Redskins, after years of people trying to get them to change their name, have actually agreed to do so. And you know what? It's because major corporations such as FedEx, which is the name of the stadium that they play at, was willing to strip their name away if the Redskins didn't change their name. Is it because everybody like Aunt Jemima and all of these different brand names are changing? Do you think it was because of that? Because the owner said years ago that he would refuse to change the name. So I'm super curious as to the reason why they finally decided. But 2020 actually, I think, needed to happen for a very good reason, because things in this culture are changing. Yes. Fuck stupid people. But anyway, also fuck with the good people. And the good people, I'm going to tell you, is my cousin Kenny. Love Kenny. He's a dope individual. Just moving from Dallas back to Las Vegas. Wish I was there on the road trip. I actually spoke about that in a couple episodes prior to this, where we did the road trip from Savannah, Georgia to Dallas, Texas last summer. Ooh, I just hit my table. Sorry guys, a little shaky. But I don't know what that is. I think it's just because I like the sound. Lily Pulitzer, love it, cute. Okay, but no, we had such a good time. I love my cousin Kenny, so I figured this is about family. We're gonna talk about family, love family, appreciate family. What better than to tap into my family and tap into the creatives and have somebody from my family be interviewed by me. I'm usually on the opposite side of Kenny's camera, and it's actually a good opportunity for me to put him on the spot. So with that being said, enjoy clips of my interview with Kenny, and I will see you after our interview. We're gonna dive into a few questions that I have up my sleeve. Actually, again, I'm not wearing sleeves today. Up my hoodie tank top for you.
I love it. I am, well, right now I live in Las Vegas, which is where I grew up. But before that, I was in Dallas. And then before that, I was in Savannah, Georgia. So I've kind of been all over the place. I went to school in Savannah. I got a master's degree in film and television production from the Savannah College of Art and Design. And I'm a professional editor and photographer, and I do all sorts of stuff like edit music videos, anywhere from short films, documentaries, to medical videos, and then for photos, everything from pets and family portraits to high fantasy costuming, underwater, all over the place.
So, your portfolio is pretty diverse, I must say.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen your work. It's pretty good. I love it. So, with everything that's happened so far this year, a lot of your work and being on location has been halted. So, how are you dealing with that?
It was definitely very strange because I typically work a lot of events and travel a lot, like let's say convention every month, and that can be Maryland, California, Florida, Georgia, all over the place, taking photos, 8 photo shoots a day for a couple of days. So clearly none of that is gonna be happening for a while. For editing stuff, productions, all the film and TV stuff, all of that kind of halted. Editors, if you had your projects already, you were kind of set up. Typically, I work from home when I am editing, so that was okay. But then suddenly it was like projects that you're supposed to get footage for aren't going to be shooting again indefinitely. We don't know when they're coming back, and on location photo shoots and things stopped for again indefinitely. So it was a little strange. Things are kind of picking up again, and we're starting to learn how to maybe do some like socially distanced photo shoots and things like that. But it'll be a while before conventions and things are back in full swing and the normal day-to-day feels normal again. Yeah, we can get you out here, get you some nice photo shoots with those cool glasses.
Oh, these glasses that you speak of?
Yes, and that's what's going to get us into one of those 18 little galleries that will change my life. So clearly, we just got to get together.
For making me so fabulous. Gucci Hollywood forever.
Oh, you don't need Gucci to be fabulous.
Oh,
you make the Gucci fabulous.
Oh, right. As again, I'm wearing like a hooded sweatshirt that's from Target. It's so annoying. So, out of all of the cities that you've lived in, which one has been your favorite? Because they are all so different. So I actually just want to hear from your experience. Now that you're an adult, you're in your early to mid 20s.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's so crazy to say that.
After 21, I feel like I stopped aging. I don't even remember half the time.
Good. Yeah,
like
you're
I hit
Benjamin
21
Button.
And now it's like...
You're like, I don't know. So now that you're an adult, you've had amazing experiences being able to travel Europe, Asia, all over the US. Like, where has been your most favorite place to live?
Gosh, it's so hard because there's great things about each place. I'll say when I lived in Lacoste, which is a little village in the south of France, when school's not in session, I think that there's 7 people that live there. Like when I say it's a small village, it's a small village. It's like the very top of a hill.
Like literally just 7 people, which is probably one family that lives
It's
there?
like the person who's like in charge of the like Maison Basse, which is there's like a mansion at the base of the hill that some of the students live in.
Okay.
The woman who's like in charge of the program, and then there's I think 2 cafes in the entire village. Those are the only like businesses or anything at all. And I think each of them is run by like a person and maybe their significant other. There's another village like on the other side of the valley that's a little bigger that I think some of the people live in. But when I say, and it's tiny, it was the Marquis de Sade's village. He had a chateau at the top, so it was his village. So quite the legacy to be living.
Yeah,
living there.
Seriously. I'm like, how do I sign up for that lifestyle, right?
But it was just so quiet and peaceful and very restorative. It just felt like, and it was the quarter after, because my school was in quarters. I did Hong Kong, and then the next quarter I went to Lacoste. So probably like the most different it could possibly be, or maybe there's one quarter in between, but it was just so nice and quiet and peaceful, and it felt like you could really kind of get in touch with yourself and kind of what you wanted to do and reset everything. But then on the flip side of that, I also really enjoyed Hong Kong because it's nice to live in like a big city. I love the public transit. I'm in Hong Kong and in Japan, like anything with the fast trains, it's just great. But I like Savannah because I like walking a lot, and it's a walking city. I liked Dallas because I like the space and the different art vibes. But I think at the end of the day, I think Vegas, that's where I ended up. That's where I grew up. It feels just like, I love going and living in these other places, but I never feel like the most like at home than I do when I'm here.
Yeah. Well, now it's coming full circle. Now that you're
Mm-hmm.
back there, and we should talk about you starring in the next show of Cirque du Soleil coming out. You didn't tell the
Oh, I know. I'm
viewers.
headlining. I'm a professional contortion juggler. It's just, at the bottom of my resume. It's just a little asterisk.
You're like, it's in the fine print. Nobody
Yeah,
really
yeah.
sees it. So that's so awesome. Yeah, I mean, and just piggybacking off of Hong Kong, going through that train system, I'm like, oh my God, the MTR, like, honestly puts any subway system in the US to shame. It is
Mm-hmm.
clean, it is efficient, they
Mm-hmm.
have an enter and exit off of the train line. I mean, everything
Mm-hmm.
was so fluid. I'm like, okay, well, Boston always touts themselves on being like the oldest subway system in the US. And it's true because the quality of it shows that it's the first, that they've made like no improvements. So actually going on the MTR in Hong Kong was crazy. But I loved the experience out there. I mean, we got to do some
Mm-hmm.
really cool things going to Ocean Park.
Mm-hmm.
And, I went off with Ashley to go to the nail salon and have tea, afternoon
Mm-hmm.
tea, and just a different experience. We walked the street market. We went on a cruise. Tell them about the cruise.
It was like a Halloween night cruise that we went with. It was the two of us and then some roommates and friends of mine from Hong Kong. So we went on and we had going in costumes and they had a bunch of DJs set up, and then we were given like these stamp cards, and there was like people walking around that worked up for the ship that were dressed as like horror characters, and if you like ran around and found them, they would stamp your card, and if you got enough stamps you'd get like a free drink. We tried to find all the people, and by the time we'd even gotten like a couple of them, they'd already stopped it. We spent too long chasing down a bloody doll girl in the hallway, nowhere near the party, but it was fun. It was like a Halloween cruise in Hong Kong. Like,
It was so wild. So before I got there, Kenny was just like, hey, Katie, like, we're going to go on this cruise. It's on Halloween. Bring a costume. That's it. Like, that's all I knew, right? So I'm like, all right, cool. Like, what kind of costume can I fit into my suitcase? All this stuff. So I go rolling up with like peacock wings and a mask and the gloves. Tell me why everybody else that we went with didn't bring a costume. I was like the only one. I mean, Evie did dress up as a pirate a little bit, but I was like full-blown costume, and everybody else that we were with were totally just in like regular clothes. So I was like, wah, wah, wah. And then we literally get to the harbor to start docking or getting onto the cruise, and they're like, yeah, you need to forfeit your passport. I'm like, excuse me? What? Wait, so you want my passport? So are you gonna throw me off the boat in the South China Sea right now? Is that what we're trying to do right now? So that was like low-key frightening, but we're alive. We're here telling the story 5 years later. So, I mean, I guess we're all right. We talked a little bit about your artwork, how it's been stalled because of COVID, all the stupid bullshit that 2020 has done to us. But is there anything that you're working on right now that you want to talk about, or anything that you had wrapped up before we closed the world down?
Yeah, I've been past couple of projects I've been working on some music videos, which I really love. But my current project, I'm working on a short film with a director that I met when I was in film school still. His name's Quint. And we did a music video to LP's Muddy Waters a couple years ago. And it's doing really well. I think it's finishing up its film festival circuits right now, but it's still getting awards and things, which is always very nice and exciting to see your hard work getting recognized. But we're working on a short narrative, kind of dealing with self-acceptance and juggling different that's what I'm looking for here. Try not to give things away too much. But yeah, it's kind of about self-acceptance and realizing why maybe you build up walls around yourself and why people might act out against things that might not be what the underlying issue actually is. But it's been a really nice kind of change of pace. I don't get the chance to work on a lot of like dialogue heavy, maybe emotional, more intimate pieces. I typically do a lot of like music videos or fashion films or documentaries. But it's fun kind of working with just kind of a conversation, let the words and the performances lead the direction and really just kind of honing in on those emotional moments and when the correct times to transition and break those frames are. So it's been really nice, and I'm excited to see it as it progresses. And we've kind of it's like a college roundup of the director, cinematographer, the colorist, and I. We've all went to school together, so it's nice that even with the world shutting down and everything, that we've been able to continue to work on this and kind of keep tabs on each other. And they were able to shoot before Corona kind of took over, so now all the post stuff is happening in its happy little bubble. So it's like the one facet of my life that seemingly did not get affected.
I want to wrap this up because I have to actually get going, even though I want to talk to you forever. But my question for you, out of all the work that you've done, literally from such a young age to where you are currently, what is the most awkward experience you've had while shooting? I have one of my favorite stories of yours, but I want to hear from you first.
See, my question now to you is the story you're thinking of. Is it the headshot stranger? Yeah. Yeah.
Because that is, you know me too
that
well.
Is absolutely. I was like, okay, awkward stories. I'm like, I can think of some things, but that's really. Do you want me to tell it, or do you want to see if you can? Yeah, okay. So when I was in college, when I was still learning how to do headshots, a lot of people would offer really discounted headshots, basically for the other students at the school, so everyone could get kind of practice doing what they're doing. So that's what I was doing, and I had set up a headshot for this older man for an afternoon. We were gonna meet here at this time. Perfect. I'd been doing this for a couple weeks now, so I kind of knew the routine. So I went down to where the area was that we usually meet, and I sat down on the bench where I usually wait for people to come. And while I'm waiting there, I text the guy, okay, I'm here, great. And then suddenly a man sits down next to me. I turn, I was like, oh, hey, are you my 1 o'clock? And he's like, oh, yeah. And I was like, perfect, great. Phone in my pocket, get up, start chatting, doing our shoot. Preface this with, when I was booking headshots, everything was through email. So I didn't know necessarily what this person looked like. But okay, so he said he was my 1 o'clock, great. We go around, we walk, do our shoots, we're chatting. I kind of do my usual spiel, how are you doing? Walking him through the shoot. Are you excited for any upcoming projects, that kind of stuff. It's kind of quiet and a little awkward, but it's a random person taking your photo. People sometimes get a little awkward. It's okay. So we continue on, we finish up the shoot. I'm like, perfect, are there any other shots that you can think of that you need? He's like, no, we're good. I'm like, okay, perfect. This is the price we agreed on. Time to pay. And he kind of looked at me for a second. He was like, yeah, okay. And he took out his wallet, and then he paid me the money. And I was like, perfect, great, well, have a great day. Great, you too. Part ways, go about my day. And then as I was walking away, I look at my phone, and I see I have a message. Guy says, hey, I can't find you, where are you? I was like, what do you mean? Did you forget something? Did you put something in my camera bag? He was like, no, we had a photo shoot booked for 1. And I was like, yeah, we just did it. And he was like, no, I was running a little late, I'm at the spot now, are you still here? And I was like, looking at my camera, who's this man whose headshots I just took? Why did he go along with it? Why did he pay me at the end?
Right.
Because from his perspective, I'm a random person. He sat down next to him, just started chatting, and it's the South, so people chat. It's not like Vegas, people actually talk to just each other on the street. Yeah.
Yeah.
Chatting. I was like, are you my 1 o'clock? He said, yes. He let me take photos of him. At the end, I asked for money, and he gave it to me. And so I didn't have that man's contact information because I thought it was the guy that I was supposed to be doing shoots. So I have headshots of this random man. I don't know who he is. He paid me for them. I don't.
Right.
I ended up doing the shoot with the original guy the next day, and that worked out. But to this day, sometimes I open up my Lightroom, the photo editing program, and his thumbnail comes up. And I'm like, who are you, sir?
You just made it through the 10th episode. I feel like you get a special reward or something for that, right? Because you guys have been watching me for the last 10 weeks, liking my videos, subscribing to me. I don't know, maybe you guys even have the notification bell like turned on YouTube because you actually want to hear so much from me that you did that. Love you if you did, because I don't know if people do it. I don't know YouTube that well enough. But thank you guys. I really appreciate you becoming part of my family, my antisocial butterflies, and really being part of this fun journey that I'm on. So with that being said, I'm going to wrap up this interview. Oh my God, why? I just did that last week too. I'm still exhausted. All right. I just hope that you enjoyed this episode, and I will see you next week.